everyone, welcome back. So for this week for math, we are focusing on measurement. We are focusing on mostly length and width this week. So there's a bunch of activities that you will be doing with your paras and me this coming week. You can also try these at home for homework. All right, and so the first one we're going to do is just having them make their own ruler. So what that's going to look like is they're going to have two pieces of printer paper that they tape together, flip it over, and then using their ruler, they're going to place the ruler inches apart up. And they're going to make a line with a marker, just a straight line along like that. Then they're going to scoot their ruler down a little bit, and they're going to do their markings from 1 all the way to 11. And then they're going to label the inches with the numbers underneath it. Okay? So it's going to look something like this. So they're going to they can make their ruler, and then they can use this ruler if they choose for some of their activities. Okay, this is just a really good hands-on way for them to create their own ruler using their paper and their pens. Okay, so we are going to be also using our rainbow tiles, which are perfect because they're an inch square. So one of the first activities you can try is just using your cards and dice to create random numbers, and them using their ruler and their rainbow tiles to make 3 inches. And they're going to put their 1-inch tiles right at the edge of the ruler with the inches side up, and they're going to be making that number of inches. Okay, so that is a very basic one, and 4 inches, and so on. They can use their cards as well to create that many inches on their ruler. Okay, so there are a bunch of different things that they can be measuring. They could be measuring some toys, stuffies, anything else in their environment, and also hands, feet, and other parts of your body. So this is a really fun one for them to do. They're basically going to measure their hands. So you're going to use a marker, and you're going to have them trace their hand like this. And then they measure the hand by looking at the length and the width. So this is, my hand is about 7.5 inches by 3 inches. So 7.5 by 3 inches. So you're going to always be having them record. Whenever they measure something, there's always the there's always the paper and pencil component for them to be recording whatever they're measuring. So this is an example of them using their hands. You can do the same thing with feet, and you can even do different things like your arm. So let's see how you could have them start at the shoulder, and 2 feet, and 2.5 feet long from my arm. I think this would be a great opportunity too for you to get their height and mark that on your wall, so you can start to see how tall they're getting. So that's another fun one for in the home. So measuring the body parts, measuring toys, different items. So let's see, I have a pair of scissors here. I would make sure that they understand that you start right at the edge, and then you're counting up, and where do I get with my scissors? 10 inches long by 3 inches. So 10 by 3, my scissors are 10 by 3. I'm going to record that. Okay. And you can also do, this is a really good, using books is really good because they're kind of flat and easy to work with, and you're measuring their length and their width. with your ruler. So this one is 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, so there's a lot of different things in the environment that you can be measuring with them. So that would be what you would use for measuring by inches. Okay, so they can also do it this way. How many tiles does it take to get to the right length? You're using your ruler, you're also using your rainbow tiles to do these measurements. Okay? And you could spend a whole session just finding different things in their environment for them to measure. Measuring with inches, not centimeters. Inches, using the ruler, the yardstick, and the rainbow tiles. Okay? Lots of different things to do for measuring with those things. We're also going to be talking a lot about non-standard units of measurement, which means that you're using a different item to measure. So one thing that they really need to understand with non-standard units of measurement is that you're using the same item. You're not going to use different size items for your measurements. So here's an example of some non-standard items that you could use. You could see how many pennies it takes to get to the end of the object. Remember, not pennies, nickels, dimes. We need it to be the same. The unit needs to be the same length always. So you can use pennies as non-standard measures. You could also use nickels or dimes using non-standard measures. You can also use your cards. This is a really great one. First of all, you could measure the card, and then how many widths of the cards does it take to get to the end? Let's look at this book again. How many widths of the cards does it take to get to the end? Okay, it looks like a little over 3 widths to get to the end of this book. What about lengths of cards? Looks like 2.5 lengths of cards to measure this. So you can use cards. You can use Post-it notes. How many Post-it notes does it take to get to the edge of this piece of paper? So Post-it notes. You could also use popsicle sticks. How many popsicle sticks do you think it takes to get to the edge from one edge of the table to the other? So making sure they're always using the same unit of measurement, and they can use their popsicle sticks, coins, cards, Post-it notes, basically anything they want as long as they're using the same unit of measurement each time. These are really good activities too for estimation. Estimation's a really important component of all this. So we could do how many pennies do you think it'll take to get from one side to another? And then you test your theory. Okay? Another thing you can do is have the student, let's see if you can find something that is 4 inches long. Let's see if you can find something that is 10 inches long. And they look around their environment to find it. They make their estimate, and then they find out the true length and width of the object. Okay? So there's a lot of different things we can do with measurement this week. I think it's going to be a really fun week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys soon.